Hello, welcome to Container Privileges and Profiles. My name is Steve Hamilton, and I'll be your instructor for this course. Okay, let's get started. In this lesson, we will learn about creating container profiles, as well as how we can grant local privileges. And at the end, there will be a lab on granting local privileges, as well as a demo solution on how we've granted the local privileges. Well, first of all, what is a profile used for? The big reason that we have profiles in an Oracle 12c environment is primarily for password rules. Profiles enforce things like password expiration, password grace time, like the password history, and that can either be in number or days. You can only reuse this password every n number of days. They can either be days or number, but it cannot be both. And some sort of password verification rules, like all passwords must contain an uppercase, a lowercase, a special character, and it cannot be the same as the old password, can't be the same as the username. Now, this is very important. Profiles perform two functions. One is resource limitations, two is password rules. If you are going to use profiles to enforce resource limitations, you must set the parameter resource limit to true. By default, it's set to false. Now, to enforce password rules, this parameter has no effect on password rules. It only has effect on resource limitations. Again, by default, this value is set to false. Each user can have one and only one profile assigned to them at a given time. There can be multiple profiles within the container database. However, only one profile can be assigned at the given time, and profiles cannot be assigned to other profiles. Again, profiles are only used for resource limitations and password rules. They're totally different than roles. Now, within a container database, we can create container profiles. However, the container profiles will be named something like C, #, or hashtag profile name. Okay, so these are the profiles unique to that specific container. This profile may be used across all pluggable databases. So we can create a generic profile at the container level and then use that profile across all pluggable databases within the container database. Pluggable databases may also have their own individual profiles, and they can solely be used within that specific pluggable database. So keep this in mind. If I want to create a generic profile and use it across all pluggable databases, I can do this at the container level. If I want to create a unique profile within a specific pluggable database, I can do that at the pluggable database level. Again, to do that, I would just simply issue the command create profile, the name of the profile, within the pluggable database. If I am creating a profile at the container level, it will be named C hashtag something. If I'm creating the profile at the pluggable level, it will give an actual name. Again, profiles can be created through SQL+, SQL Developer, or Cloud Control, as well as Enterprise Express. So we've done the same thing here. You'll notice that I've come in as the CDB root, and I've logged into security, or I've gone to the security menu option. And on the security menu, I can see I have profiles. You'll notice that I already have one profile created, and it's named C #gogo_profile. If I want to create this profile, I could just go ahead and create a profile and name it accordingly. I can do a create like, I can edit this existing profile, or I can remove it. Keep in mind, if you remove a profile that's already assigned to a user, you have to give it the cascade option, and then the database default profile will automatically be assigned to that user. So here, I have two of them. I have the default profile, and then I have the profile I've just created. You can see specific things here like the connect time. Basically, this is set to 480 minutes, which means that if a user is connected 480 consecutive minutes, they will automatically be terminated. So now I have two profiles. I have the container profile, which is C #, at the container level. And then I have the profile that's created at the pluggable level. And we can see here, if we look in the upper section of the screen, I'm connected to the pluggable database, GoGoPDB, and I'm going to be using the gogo_profile. So if it doesn't have the #, or hashtag, that means the profile is local to that pluggable, or container database. Please go ahead and download the exercise guide found on the Courses page under the Materials tab. Complete the exercise, watch the demo, and see how it's done. Now, welcome to the demo on how we can create and grant local privileges. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to my GoGo database, or my GoGo pluggable database. So I'm going to go to SQL+, system, password 1, @hostname, and connect to the pluggable database, which is GoGo PDB. Now the next thing I need to do is I want to grant privileges to the GoGo account that I just created. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say grant create table, select any table, insert any table to GoGo. And I'm going to give it the option of with admin option. Basically, this means that this user can now grant this privilege to other users. And I can see that the grant has succeeded. The next thing that I want to do is I want to grant privileges to the GoGo account, but I want to grant object privileges. So I specifically want to grant them privileges on the HR employees table. So this would be an object privilege. So I'll say grant all on HR employees to GoGo with grant option. If I give it the with grant option, that means that this user can again grant this privilege to other people. The difference between the with admin option and the with grant option is the admin option is for system privileges and it does not support cascading revokes. The grant option is with object privileges and it does support cascading revokes. Meaning, if my GoGo account granted create table to other users and I revoked that from GoGo, all of the downstream users would still retain the create table. Now, if my GoGo user granted select on HR employees to other users, if I revoked it from HR employees, all downstream users would lose it. So now, the next thing I want to do is I want to grant privileges to public. This would be like on step 6. To grant privileges to public, everybody in the Oracle system is a member of public. So if you have an account, you are a member of public. So I'm going to say grant create session to public. By doing that, that means anybody who has an account on the Oracle system now has the ability to create a session. Create a session is the #1 privilege you need to log into the Oracle database. So privileges can be granted to a user, a role, or public. And this would conclude the lab on granting privileges to a specific user in a pluggable database. Thank you.